There is a problem in the modern generation of man. I guess you're already familiar with moments like you're being too anxious to dive in something new, or you're scared to talk to that girl, or you're just overcomplicating your tasks and so you don't do them anyway. Well, sounds like somewhat a random compilation of events, however, they have one thing in common. They all have happened because of being too emotional. Oh, but get me right, I'm not such a person that says that every man should be like a robot and shouldn't express any feelings. Well, not at all. But there is still a problem, because for a man, reacting to real, solvable problems or to bad life circumstances that emotionally is just not healthy. Well, one of the reasons is that it slows you in your life. Like, for example, let's say that you've hit your toe on the corner of a wardrobe. And so you waste a few minutes cursing, and after that, you have a bad mood for the rest of the day. But if you would realize how useless would that cursing be, then you would achieve much more that day and your mood wouldn't be ruined. Well, it is just the simplest thing that could be about it. But I guess you already see the good consequences of emotional stability. Then we're not waiting any longer, so it is the full guide to your emotional stability. This is Shoom, and here we go. And the first thing you should look at and change is your responses to people. Throughout the day, you have that kind of conversations when you just want to respond with something toxic. Maybe because the person is asking dumb questions, or is themselves annoying. Well, usually, in that case, your response would be toxic. Or you would just say the guy to fuck off, and technically, doing this is not that bad, because in the majority of cases, it works, but there are two huge problems. First, that after successfully ending the talk, you would feel worse. Yeah, sure, maybe first 10 minutes you would feel great, because you won the argument. Yeah, you're celebrating, but afterwards, there would be such feeling like, oh, why have I done that? Maybe I could have done it differently, and with such mood that could be no productivity. And the second problem is there are loads of long-term consequences. Starting from others assuming you're an asshole, to developing a literal habit of saying such things which is really uncomfortable to break. So, what do you have to do? Well, there is only one way. It is difficult, but it is simple. Train your willpower to say what you're supposed to. Well, no. I'm not about things like saying what the government wants you to do and so on, but from the healthy mind perspective. You would want to fall over and spit out something toxic, but you should limit yourself in that. Always be aware before saying anything, and the more you train in that, stronger your emotional stability would be. The second point in our guide is meditation. Well, if you watched some of my previous videos, you know that it is not the first time I'm mentioning this thing. Maybe you want to say something like, Shoom, why are you talking about this? Is meditation really that useful? And I would say, yeah, really. You see, some of your life problems have the same background, and so there are some tactics that can be used in different situations. So, really, meditation is one of the best habits to develop, and it is not that hard. Like, you will better watch my meditation guides because there is still a lot more I'm going to tell you in this video. Well, the video is in this corner and also in the description as always. So, the next point, which I'll tell you right now, may sound pretty interesting. So, number 3 is to have a dedicating hobby. Well, I'm about interests which require you to be serious and think critically. Something like chess or martial arts, etc. And I think you know why is it that important. You train yourself to behave the same way in real life situations. But, well, I don't tell you to forget about your purpose and the fundamental aspects of your life and just move those pieces. It is just a hobby, though when you decide to spend some time on it, then you should focus on it completely. You're doing this to get settled, to be concentrated, and don't burst out all of your emotions at once. Try it, but try it for real. Not just a couple of punches. Transfer to it mentally. The fourth point, which is indeed fundamental, and you should listen to it in any situation you could be, is be with the right people. Well, by right, I mean those who are already what you want to be, or at least are closer to your goal. If you want to be wealthy, be with wealthy people. If you want to be jacked, be with jacked people. And if you want to be emotionally stable, then be with emotionally stable people. But don't expect them to do everything instead of you. You should learn and implement the good habit they have. So if you have a chance to be friends with your role model or just kind of your dream person, then congratulations. Now you can learn a lot and become as successful as they are. And just in case, when you become who you want to be, then you can become even better by helping others and teaching them as you were taught by those people with whom you had been. So it is kind of a win-win if you are persistent and ready to work hard. However, I want to warn you about the opposite side of this effect, from which you are suffering right now. So, as well as you get better with successful people, you get worse with bad people. But there is a difference. To implement good habits, it takes a lot more effort than for bad ones. So it is extremely deadly to stay in that circle of wimps, addicts, and lazy. Start with one person, eliminate one, find one, then it gets easier. And so now we go to the last and the fifth point, which relates literally to every aspect of your life and any of the points before, that you should start right now. Well, you don't really have that much time to just keep scrolling and ignoring every of the messages. Just start with the easiest one you can and continue. Well, I've told you what can you start with, so just don't be that slow. The main thing you should understand is that you should learn to be fast. So it is the message for you from me, and so always be aware. I believe in you, love you, and see you soon. Bye.